Hey, hello everybody. Once again, this is Greg West with Felons from Felons with a Future on our weekly podcast, Road to Freedom, No More Chains. Um, Today we will be talking with Joshua Hunter. You know, first let me get into like what we do. Felons with a Future, we're a nonprofit organization reentry program that helps restored citizens come home and work on the things that they need to do so they can become business owners. In that 12-week class, we also concentrate on changing our way of thinking from, that way we heal from the trauma, the trauma that led us to the life of crime, the trauma that we went through as we were in the life of crime, the trauma we went through while we were incarcerated, then the trauma that we go through as we try to incorporate ourselves back into the mainstream society. Like we say, we're here to give hope to the returning citizens. And tonight, we have a guest. Our guest is Joshua Hunter. Um, of all places, I met Joshua while I was incarcerated, and today, he's the owner and founder of House of Classics Cuts men's grooming product line. It's the first locally black-owned product company to go into beauty supplies in Indianapolis. Currently, the House of Classic Cuts products are being sold in 5 states, and I will have in the chat and I mean in the description how to get in touch with Joshua if you would like to, find out more about these products or to purchase them and all that, or if you would just like to talk with him later on, to find out any more information about his products or some of the pitfalls that he's gone through and how did he navigate that. So yeah, with no more from me, Josh, go ahead and let's get a little introduction from you.
Yeah, like you said, my name is Joshua Hunter. Uh, I'm a barber currently right now. Also, I just started the House of Classic Cuts brand, which is, like you said, a men's premium beard line. We also have other products too, and some other stuff in the works. I sell the products at different stores, like you said, at DJ's, Beauty Supply, uh, online, hand in hand, however, however it needs to get done. Um, I'm also a felon. I don't even like that label no more, but for the sake of this podcast, I will say that. But yeah,
Well,
I'm a
just to
felon.
interrupt you real quick, we learned that we no longer use the term ex-felons or ex-offenders. It's restored citizens or returning citizens, because it takes away that stigma, it takes away the sting. Okay, my bad. Go ahead, my man.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm a returned citizen. So yeah, and I've been home for over 11 years now. So I like to consider myself one of the success stories. Um, but yeah, basically that's it. Like like I started cutting hair when I was 30. I finally figured it out, and now I'm 37. So yeah, so yeah, man, that's a little bit about me, man.
Yeah, that's good, man. Like, early on when you came home, like what we try to talk about on this show is, like we try to keep it on a positive vibe, but we do talk about some of the pitfalls that we went through, that we had to go through to get to where we are. So what was your role like to go from coming home? Because you came home in 2009 or 2010. You came home right.
2000 November 2009, actually
Okay.
November 19th 2009. So yeah.
Right. So in those 11 years, what were some of, let's talk about some of the transitions that you had to go through to get you from there to being where you are now so that, to give the return the restored citizens some hope that, they can do it too. 'Cause, like we always see the success stories at the end, but very often they need to hear what we've gone through so that they don't give up hope.
The first thing it was like I kind of broke it down. So like to me, like everything's a win, right? So when I came home, I didn't have a driver's license. So getting a driver's license was a win. Like I try to create every little step along the way. I mean, the bigger picture is being starting your own business or getting the dream job or whatever it is that you have your mind set on to do. But and there's like in between steps. So I try to just focus on the in between steps and don't get overwhelmed and remove all the negativity that's around you. Like a guy once told me that I was with, we both know Kincaid, and he said you're gonna come across people that's gonna be in the stands cheering for you, and you're gonna come across people that's gonna get on the field with you and cheer and play with you. And so I try to surround myself around people that was really trying to be on the field with me and help. So it kind of made it easier for my transition, and to get it done. So like I said, I just took it day by day, step by step, and I wasn't too good to do anything. Like I would have worked at McDonald's to start off. It was just I just needed a start. I just needed a break. So that's kind of how I approached everything. And to this day, I still approach it like that. I still, even with my business, I got a lofty goal, and then I try to break it down step by step, so I can have a little achievements. Because if you just focus on that big goal, you'll burn yourself out. You'll burn yourself out. You may even give up. And it's when you are labeled a felon or ex-felon, whatever you want to say,
Right.
easy for you to go back into your ways. It's easy. It's easy. The first time it doesn't go your way, is you're gonna go right back, because that's what your defense mechanism is. Well, I can't get no money this way. I'm gonna go back doing what I do, and I'm gonna get money that way. So
And
so
go ahead.
trying to counteract that is step by step.
And it's important that you said that about, like how we're conditioned, our thinking is conditioned when something doesn't seem to go our way, we'll revert right back to the same thought pattern and everything. And that's why we focus so much with felons with a future, on the thinking, on the thinking. Because like you
Right.
said, like surrounding myself with positive people, it,
Right.
it, for me, and I want to hear your point of view on this in a minute. It was a must for me, but I had that fear of like, how am I going to be perceived? Because from all the people that I was running around with for years, and
Yeah.
so talk. Let's talk about how did you overcome that fear of the perception about the people that you used to run with? How are you going to be perceived as being cool now and all that?
Right. Right. I struggle with that, and I still struggle with that to this day. When I finally decided to be a barber, and I remember that wasn't really received well by the circle what I was doing, and my wife and I I just removed myself from the environment. So I don't think them people didn't want me. I don't think they per se wanted me not to do it, not to go be a barber. It's just everybody's used to you doing a certain thing and being a certain person, and now you're changing on them, and they're kind of, they looking at you side eye like, oh, whoa, whoa, what you doing? Like, what you doing? Like, why are you changing? That ain't real. Like, you hold on, man. So I think removing yourself from the environment that you're comfortable in and putting yourself in a different environment, you can create who you want to be. Like, these new people don't know don't know your past. All they know is what you're presenting to them right now. So that's that's kind of how I kind of counteracted that. I changed the environment, and then I created what I wanted to be. Like, this is what I wanted to be. And then you kind of got to get take the stance of like, look, man, this is it. This is what it is. Like, either you're gonna rock with it or you're not gonna rock with it. So what? Like, everybody's gonna have something to say. They're gonna, either it's good or bad. Everybody's gonna have something to say. So you can't kind of focus on that. You just got to focus on what you need to get done. And what you need to get done is stay out here and be there for your family and be for your kids. Like, that's the number one goal. Like, so
Right.
everything else is just chitter chatter. Like, you can have all the chitter chatter. I don't care. Like, you either cheering or booing. I still got to make the shot. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't. All that is noise.
All right. And so, like, some steps that you took, like, we see today that you have your own product line, your own business. Like, what were some of the steps you had to take, as far as starting your business and everything?
Uh, well, first I had to find what I was good at. Like, I mean, like, me being a barber was a suggestion from my wife. Like, once you find whatever it is, then it's time to go as just as hard as you would if you was doing something, you had no business to be doing.
Right.
Like if I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, it was no days off. It was sun up to sundown. Whatever, if I was asleep and the phone ring, I'm gonna wake up. So I just approached that to have that mentality to what I do now. Like, so some of the steps I did, like, I mean, I started businesses before when I was younger. So it was just like trying to have my own. Like, so then you start Googling, how can you have your own? And what can I do to be independently and I don't have to depend on nobody? So I mean, you would start the internet. I mean, you got the gift with the internet. Like the internet kind of makes no excuses. Like you can Google whatever it is, whatever you want to be a truck driver, you want to be a construction worker, you want to be a barber, you want to start your own product line. It begins with research, and you can do that with the internet. Like you can do it with your phone. Like,
Right.
so I mean, that's what I was saying. Like you would start. Like I started with the phone, just doing research on trying to look it up, and then find somebody that's in the industry or doing what I wanted to do, and ask them 101 questions.
And like that's important right there. We live in this technology age, and it still amazes me with all the information that we have in our hand with smartphones, how people will still fail to use that tool to find something. So that's a good thing that you pointed out. Like you don't have to thing extensive and go crazy look for that information. You can just Google it, just walk through it. You know,
Right.
some of the pitfalls that you went through starting your business. What were some of those that you had to overcome, man?
Man, trying to going broke, not having enough resources, like trying to survive that, trying to start a business and still take care of your family. Like, I mean, that time, like I still struggle with that. Like, shoot, being a felon, like it's all types of it's all types of pitfalls. It's like it's what you're trying to do when you're starting a business. Um, you're gonna have all types of energies against you. Like I mean, it's nothing personal. It's just like you doing something that it's not built. Society ain't built for us. Everybody to have businesses. Now, I mean, it's benefits to it, but they want everybody to be employees. So now, when you're going against this, it's just going to be all types of obstacles that you're going to have to overcome. Like, it's not going to be easy, but you just stay the course. Like I said, like all the other stuff is just noise, man. Once you get the plan of what you want to do, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's talking about you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter about this obstacle because you know what you got to get done, and it's on you to get it done. Now you're gonna need a good team, but it's on you to get it done, regardless. Like regardless. Like so, you
You
just got.
keep talking. You keep talking about the good team, good support network. What was it like, and what does that look like? What did it look like about building you as a good team and this support network? You know what I'm saying? In your instance,
Uh, I mean, I'd still say that's one of the hardest things. Like building a great team. What's lucky for me is I have a great support system starting with my wife. Like I said, I wouldn't even be a barber if it wasn't for her suggestion. Like I didn't think barbers really made any money, so I kind of started from there. So, and she has a great gift with discerning. So if somebody comes in my life and they can do this, that, and the third, I kind of have a conversation with my wife about it, and then she may tell me that that's yeah or no, and even if I listen to her, I don't listen to her. 9 times out of 10, she's right.
right?
So, but I would say it would start with your significant other. Like that be the first start of building a great team around you, because she or he is going to make sure that the proper people are going to be around you because they want nothing but for the best for you.
Okay. You know, I know some of the transitions that I had to deal with. Like with the nature of my crime. There were certain fields or certain things that I couldn't go into. And what I'm getting at is, and to inform the listener or the viewer that one of the things, when we get ready to start a business, please Google always or look up, find out what the nature of your crime, what are the limitations of what type of business? Because I know here in Ohio, um, if you have a trafficking charge, they won't let you become own a barber shop or anything like that. But you know what I'm saying. But there's ways that you can get that taken care of. But you know what I'm saying. What I'm getting at is getting the information so people won't get discouraged and say, well, this is what I want to do, and my craft won't let me do it. You know,
Right. Right.
you didn't have to face any of those obstacles, though, did you?
No, I didn't have like once I became a barber. No, I didn't have the obstacles of my background didn't hold me back from too much. Except for I was trying to do what's that darn show? I was trying to get on this show. Man, I can't think of the show, but you had to have a clean record. And I couldn't do that, but other than that, I really I don't I don't know. I don't think about my background no more. Like I don't put that at the limit. Like I ain't filling out applications. I don't even bring that up. Like
Okay.
so and so it's not even there's ways around everything. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't even think about that. Even when I was on the inside and people was asking me what I was gonna do, and I was just saying I was gonna get a job, and people would tell me, ah man, you ain't gonna get a job. Like it's gonna be hard. Like it was never hard for me to get a job. So why I think anything different? And lo and behold, I had jobs when I came home. I just, I don't know. I just don't think about the limitations. Like I don't think about the negative. I just think about I just set the goal and whatever it takes to get it. So you know what I mean. So I wouldn't even worry about that part. Like you can Google and see what if you got a trafficking charge, like you said, you can't get a barbershop. Then maybe you can put it in your mom's name. Maybe you can put it in your sister's name. Maybe you can put it in your brother's name. But there's ways around everything. Like, is don't worry about that part. Like, just figure out what you want to do. That's the part.
Right.
That's the part. That's the part.
And once finding out what you want to do, sticking to the goal, man. Sticking to the goal.
Stick it to it. Stay there. Stay
You
there. Like you would do if you was doing the other thing. You would stay there. You would stay down. You wouldn't stop. So why? I mean, why now? Like why change the mentality?
you
The
know,
mentality is still the same. Like
right.
like the mentality don't change. It's just what you're doing. Like what you're doing.
And I keep hearing the theme that you keep talking about support, surrounding yourself with a good support network, the people that you hang with, the people that you know that are,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and I know for me, and we can shoot back and forth on this. It was kind of difficult because we know each other a little deeper than what we'll ever be able to talk about on this time. We don't have enough time.
Right.
And
Right. Right. Right.
you know what I'm saying. You know that as long as I was out there in the streets, and I developed a mindset that if I was a square, I wasn't cool no more. So
Yeah.
let's talk about some of those self-defeating thoughts that you had to overcome, and some of the tactics that you used to overcome those self-defeating thoughts.
The tactics. I mean, yeah, I have. Shoot, I still sometimes be thinking like, man, this is far fetched. Like this is far fetched. This is hard. Like, you not gonna do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when I have them thoughts, or like, I kind of try to write my goals back down so I can see it, or have a conversation with somebody that's positive, and then kind of they get you that juice is flowing again. Like, okay, it's cool. Like, because you're going to have them days. Like you're human. Like everybody's going to have the days that you're not, you don't feel like getting up, or you're not as motivated, or you don't want to, do whatever it is, whatever you're chasing. But you just got to find, that's why it's important. Like again, I mean, can't iterate enough. Like it's why it's important to have a good, strong support system. Because them are the people that's going to keep you going when you don't feel like doing it.
Right.
When you're not seeing your results. So that's the thing. Can you keep going when you're not seeing the results.
And, so you've been cutting hair for 7 years. Uh, and you say that your wife was the one that led you to doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah. So apparently like you said, you're one of the successes. So in those 4 years before you got into your career that you had and become a business owner, what were some of the things that you had to do to to keep yourself keep yourself supported and still keep yourself from going back on the
Yeah.
inside?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, before that, I mean, I was throwing rocks at the penitentiary. Like I was still, I mean, I was searching. Like this was all part of my search, but in the midst of searching, I was still doing what I knew, what I felt like I was good at. Like I felt like I was good at that. Like so I mean, it was a part of my search. I was still searching. Like I don't know. I was blessed. Like a lot of this, I was blessed. I don't know. I can't tell you why. I was in crazy situations and they ended up going in my favor. And that's only because I had God's blessing. It wasn't anything in particular I personally did. Like, because I was still taking chances until my wife told me, well, you need to change this up. And once you go to school to be a barber. And like, that's when everything started changing. And even then it was still hard. Like even then it was still hard. I was still like I was in between. I was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's not till I moved to Indianapolis. It's when I really did the full complete. I'm done. Let's do this.
So what I'm hearing is changing environment sometimes can play a big role in you know and I know everybody doesn't have that luxury, you know what I'm saying. I mean, I'm at the point where I choose to, but I got to follow a solid foundation of what I'm doing and everything,
Mm.
and a solid, core network of people, and I've done some work, and I've chose to come to the hood only for some reasons, to, what I'm saying, to help
Right.
our people out, you know what I'm saying. But
Right.
I know everybody doesn't have that option to be
Right.
able to, change our environment. But one thing I've learned is like, if I can't change my physical environment, I can always change my mental environment.
Yeah.
So,
And
go ahead.
I agree with you saying, but once you change your mental environment, once you change your mental thoughts, that's going to change your physical environment. So you may not physically go to a different city or state, but who you around and what you are
Thank you.
doing is going to change. So you are changing your environment. You may still be in the same environment, but you're doing different stuff and around different people, exposing yourself to different things. So in a way, you are changing your environment. Once you start changing some thoughts. You got no choice but to go follow whatever the thought is, because you don't got the same habits. You're developing new habits.
All right. One thing, Josh, I appreciate your candidness and talking about, what I'm saying, some of the things, because like I understand as being a business owner myself, and prior to what I'm doing now, as far as like my small business that I own and this nonprofit that I'm the founder and CEO of, I remember opening a car wash back up in the hood. And I remember going, saying that struggle of I don't want to go back to this lifestyle.
Hmm.
Everybody I was serving, as far as a service field that I had, not everybody, but 80% of them was in that lifestyle and
Right.
trying to get away from that. I was already like, okay, I'm cool, but the perception of what they still had of me when people would come and they still remember me being out there and all of that. And I remember going through stuff, man, and I remember having it seemed sometimes strenuous on me,
Right.
and I had to come to like where I put myself in position that is going to play a big role on how easy that transition is.
Right.
Around people who always remember me and reminding me of my past, even though I want to change, it might be harder for me to move into this person that I want to be.
Right, right,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Real quick bit, man, before we go through a little bit more. What people don't realize, me and this dude are like in-laws. And it's how we met. You know what I'm saying? I had to tell this story, man. Man, I'm working out with this dude and everything for a while before I even found out that my youngest daughter's mom is his first cousin. And so, it's just funny how life changes. And you know what I'm saying? We've watched the transformation of going from who we were there to
Yeah,
the people that we are now.
right.
And it's good to see, like having a conversation with you today. Even though I remember you going to school while we were locked up and everything, because
Yeah,
you were already goal oriented. But
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But having conversations with you today, it's some of that hope, like what we try to give the restored citizens, the returning citizens, man. You know what I'm saying. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's- Everything's possible. I remember going to school every day in there till like to the end and reading. How much did I read when I was in there?
Man, we ain't gonna get into all that, man. And if somebody wanted to buy your products or anything like that, how could they get a hold of you?
You can go to houseofclassiccuts.com and then all the products is available right there. So it doesn't matter if it's being sold in your city or state. Like just go on houseofclassiccuts.com and everything will be available. I can ship internationally, nationwide, so it doesn't matter. So that'd be the best way. Our website.
Okay. And I'll make sure that I put that in the description of this. And maybe one day when I get fancy like these other YouTubers and had a little thing scrolling at the bottom, you know what I'm saying? I have that on and we can do all of that good stuff. But right now, I'm more worried about getting the content out than all the other. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I
It's-
mean, it's a process, man. It's a
right.
process, man. It's a process, man.
And I believe the
Yeah.
content is the attraction. Let returning citizens know that we've been right where they at or where they've been, and it's possible, like you say, anything's possible. The only limitations that we put is on ourselves, man.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I truly believe that. Hey, anything's possible.
So,
Ooh,
anything else you would like to let the viewers know, man?
Uh, not off the top of my head, man. Not off the top of my head. Nah, just stay focused, man. Create your goals, stay focused. Don't let nothing around you sidetrack you from what you got going on, man. And like we said, like anything's possible, man. Anything's possible, man. Like you can be whatever, whoever you want to be, man. It's just do you got the gall to go get it? That's all. That's the only problem.
That's it. Well, I will make sure that in the description on both the, like I say, you can, if you want anybody to follow this or check you out, we will be airing on our podcast, which is carried on Buzzsprout and as well as Podbean, and like the name of it again is, Road to Freedom, No More Chains, and also we will be on our YouTube channel. And, I will make sure that your email is in the descriptions on both on all three social media. I mean things and everything, so that if anybody wants to get in touch with you to buy your products or even just to talk to you as far as a reference of how they might have to go through some stuff, you know what I'm saying, to get, because that's one thing I've understood. I understand now the support network, the support network, the support network. That is more important than having a goal. And because I'm going to need some people who are going to help keep me on that path to get that goal.
Absolutely.
It's real easy to get distracted. It's real easy to give up, especially if you've lived a life of crime for as long as, some of us have. And now you're trying to do the right thing. And like you were talking about, first time something seems like it's not going our way, we like to revert back to what we were doing.
Right.
So,
Right. Right.
and you know, in closing, man, you know, like if you had to tell somebody who was if put it like this, if the 37-year-old Josh was talking to the 25-year-old Josh,
What would I say?
what would you tell that cat?
Make your goals bigger. Make your goals bigger. Research more. Read more. And go harder. Yeah, that's what I would. If I could go back and tell myself on the day I was walking out, that's what I would. That's what I would tell them. Make your goals bigger. Go harder. Read more. And research more. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I thank you for taking this time, man. You know, I know you could be doing a lot of other things, but you know, I thank you for taking this time to offer some hope to some people, man. Let them know that you know, no matter where they at right now, there is a possibility that they can change. And you know, we're living examples. You know, we're prime examples of it, man. You know, so again, I'd like to thank you. You know, Road to Freedom's No More Change podcast. Like, thank you so much again, Josh, and we'll be having you back on periodically. You know, update, you know, your accomplishments, let people know where you at, and as you grow, you know, you come on back in.
Yeah, I definitely tap back in, man.
Yes,
Yeah, I
sir.
definitely tap back in as the podcast gets bigger and bigger. Yeah, man, I definitely will, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, man, for reaching out to me, man. Yeah, this is cool, man. I
All right.
want to get to a point in my career that I can start helping people that are like myself, like people trying to change their ways, or like maybe be a voice of reason, so you won't go do something crazy or stop doing something crazy. So yeah, this may be the beginning of a nice little journey for me.
Right,
So
and you know, like what you
yeah,
just said before we end, what you just said is real important because, like, what we're coming to realize and what we're working on is part of, you know, what I'm saying, part of our thing. You know, even though we focus mainly on reentry, what we're also looking at and implementing it's the prevention part, like what you just said. You know, how
right,
can I help somebody from going down that rabbit hole? How can I help somebody? And that's
right,
important too, because I believe that 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 end is more important, but that is just as important as helping people once we've made the mistakes to come home and you know changing our lives. The prevention part, and like you said, man, you know, hopefully that you'll be able to do that later on, man, or whether you know it or not, you might be doing it right here, right now, you know.
yeah,
So,
yeah, man.
man, I thank you for taking the time out. You know, we'll be seeing you soon.
All right, appreciate you, bro.
All
No
right,
problem,
keep up the
man.
good work, man. Keep
Go
focused.
coach, man.
Yes, sir.